It's day 12.
That's
and she's not happy, so we're just going to introduce her real quick and then she can leave. This is Hazel, as in hazelnut. Her name formerly was Coconut, but we wanted her to be Hazel, and she's unhappy, and she's graduated to be Peanut's sibling inside. Oh, she doesn't. Here, go ahead. She was playing when my daughter brought her in here to meet you. She was playing with a wadded up piece of paper, and she's batting it around.
Poor
She's
kitty.
so sweet.
She's cute. So what an unusual looking cat.
Yeah. Well, she's pretty classic Seal Point Siamese, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, and she has blue eyes. You just can't tell right now. But
yeah.
I think I put a picture on her Instagram today. Or no, I didn't, but I will. I think I posted it in my patron group. That's what. But I'll put one on my Instagram if people are interested. So that's the new farm news. And Peanut's fine with her. Peanut's all happy. He's like checking her out. She hissed at him. She's like, I don't know about you. You're big and orange. But he was all patient. He's nice to her. Yeah.
Oh, good. And what about Grumpy Old Cat?
Grumpy Old Cat's not sure. He sniffed and he's like, and he just kind of went away. He's not sure. So we'll see. We'll see if she catches mice. She's so sweet. Yeah. So I'm just knitting my blocks. Pretty much the same. I'm a little behind. I had some technology issues, so I'm a little behind. I have not yet started day 11, but I will.
But you're still on day 11 there, so
right. Yeah.
Not really behind. Yeah. Oh, I didn't get much knitting done yesterday. I was doing some sewing, which involved way more unpicking than I would have liked. So it was not a very successful day. I'm not very good with sewing.
Are you making a dress? Are you making clothes for yourself?
I am. Yeah, I'm making a dress. And I guess part of the frustration is that I've partially used a pattern and then I'm adapting it. So that's why there's a lot of unpicking where I'm like, that didn't work. So yeah, I've done the neckline 3 times now and still not happy. So
you're innovating.
I'm nearly there. Yeah. Next sew will be a pattern. I need a palette cleanser, something a bit easier.
Kind of like when you just want to knit some garter stitch to get over a complicated thing you've done. Yeah.
Totally. Yeah.
Oh. So it's cold.
Well, it's a beautiful sunny day here again. We are starting to get a little warmer.
Yes. It looks sunny.
Yeah.
Out your window there.
Yeah. 20 Celsius yesterday and it's forecast to be about 22 today, which I thought I memorized it. I think that's about 71 Fahrenheit.
Yeah, 71.
Yeah,
Fahrenheit.
It's a nice warm day.
That's a nice day. That's like it would be the same temperature inside as outside.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you going to the beach?
I'll go for a wander. Yep. And maybe the boys will surf today. They haven't surfed for a few days, so yeah.
Nice. We're having our cold snap. It is snowing. Yep. But it's very, very fine snow. It's only a couple inches. I mean, it's not a lot. I mean, my husband's gone to town. It's not like it's a big deal. It's not a lot of snow at all, but it is cold. I wrote down, let's see, I wrote this down. So it's currently, right now, it's 23 degrees Fahrenheit, which is -5 Celsius. And then
cold.
Overnight will only be 13 degrees, which is -10. So
do you have special tires or chains on your vehicles for winter? Do you change anything about your car to drive through the snow?
Well, I have a Subaru, so it has all-wheel drive. And then we have a pickup that has 4-wheel drive. But we don't really do anything different with the tires. We just buy really good all season, big tread. Yeah. Tires.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, day 12, here we are.
Yeah.
I'm ready to open.
Oh, do it. I'm excited. And I looked at Terina's Instagram and saw her starting to knit the pale green. Yep.
Yeah. So today's colour, and I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing this correctly, is Savorite. Tsavorite, Savorite. I have no idea what that is. We shall see.
Yeah, I have no idea either.
Very green. And some speckles.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's looking a little yellower, I think, than it is to me, but it is a yellowy green.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's pretty green. Wow.
So that's what Savorite is. Gorgeous.
Nice. See, and I wonder, since Terina has a background in jewelry, I wonder if she knew all of the stones ahead of time and then dyed the yarn to match the stone, or dyed the yarn first and then hunted down the stones that matched. Like chicken or the egg kind of thing. So Terina, if you're watching
maybe
the video,
she got all the little stones out and arranged them and decided.
Oh, could be. I'm just curious.
Collection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe I'll ask her to comment down below and tell us. Okay, so we did have a delightful chat with Terina, and that's actually the first time you've gotten to visit with her. She's also a moderator in your group, right?
She is, yeah. So we've chatted via the text, email, and I've knit with lots of her yarn, but I had never actually met her face to face, so that was fun to meet her.
Yeah, it was.
Chat.
Well, all right then. We'll get on to that.
So what have you got?
Oh yeah, I guess I should open my package. I was ready to click off and go have our interview. Okay, because I was like, okay, what have I got? I have day 12, which I don't know if you can see the yellow.
Fairy lights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I might have to improve my lighting for you to see. But it's kind of a purpley, dusty sort of brown, but it also has bits of mauve in there.
Yep. Nice.
And that's number 8. Yeah. Color 8. Well, I better get busy. I want to get that netted. I like things with a lot of tonal variation. It's so fun to see.
So and
especially with this pattern, since you're knitting the square and the round, the little tones sometimes make a little spiral inside the square. I kind of like that.
Yeah. Fun.
Yeah. Nice. Okay, well now we get to the interview.
Yeah, with Terina from Love and Speckles, who dyed this beautiful kit. So yeah. Go
and the link to her Etsy shop is down below. And I know, well, okay, see, it's 18 hours ahead. This video is 18 hours ahead. So this may or may not be the case by the time the video airs, but I know that she had some of the kits left that you made the Red Bent throw with. She had just 2 or 3 left. That you had. And then she had some gemstone kits left as well when I spoke to her yesterday, which is the same as what you're opening. So if people want to get a hold of that, they can with that discount. That'd be great. And then also the same kit that you used to knit the throw with, she has only 2 or 3 of those kits left. So that's tempting. Yes.
Yay.
All right. Okay. Well, I'll see you tomorrow then.
See you tomorrow.
Welcome to the podcast. I'm happy to have you here.
Thank you.
Nice. To start with, just tell me about that lovely shawl you have behind you, because that's awesome. I love that.
Fun. This was my first ever Advent kit and my first ever Advent knit. So I got inspired. Oh, this was 2018?
2018?
2018, yeah. 2018, I got absolutely inspired and went, but why not? Let's do it. And yeah, I've fallen mad in love with it. The whole community, knitting along with everyone, opening up something every day, just everything about it.
Will you take it off and show us?
I can often show you.
And that's Ambah's pattern, right?
That is Ambah's pattern, yes. I can't remember which name it is because I'm terrible with all the millions of...
Well, I'm sure Ambah knows.
Patterns. Yeah, and Ambah can tell us. So this is that one there.
That's lovely.
So...
Oh, that's long. That's giant.
It's huge because it's, the 25 days of this one. So and I ended up wearing it pretty much every day last winter. It's a perfect size. You can wear it, you know, really scrunched up, or you can wear it wrapped around a bit more. So yeah, no, it's gorgeous. But this is the one that got me. This is my gateway advent that got me
the gateway.
So yeah, it's
now. Ambah, is that the Radvent throw? Or no, sorry, the Radvent.
This one's
wrap.
called they get confusing because for the first 3 years, each of them starts with the word Advent. This one is the Adventurer Scarf and Wrap. And there's a KAL version as well, which is that same chevron lace in a KAL.
Yeah, I love that. That's beautiful.
But I want to show, here's the same kit. This is a different KAL pattern. This was the year after. This was one of last year's patterns, the Adventuring KAL. So when Terina knit up her beautiful Heaven Advent kit, was it, Terina?
Yeah.
And it was so popular. So many people ordered that after the KAL as well because they just saw how beautiful it was. And then I also made the Adventuring wrap with it. And also, so I had these two projects from the one kit, and then I used all the little leftovers for a hat project as well, which is one of my favourite hats. Yeah, so it was amazing how many things I could get out of that one kit.
Right.
Yeah, I'm going to be knitting one of everything, I think.
So, Terina, how do you decide? I mean, I know I'm putting you on the spot again, so you can have a moment to think about it. If you want. First, I have so many questions. So many. First of all, how did you get brave enough to just take that first bare skein of yarn and say, well, was it a Kool-Aid pack? Do you have Kool-Aid in Australia?
No, I dived straight into a professional yarn dyeing kit. Yeah, we have a company here, Landscape Dyes, so it's Australian based, rather than having to get it from overseas. And I just thought, I'm just going to buy a sample pack.
Oh.
And I got an old pot and I just put it in the kitchen, which isn't something you're really meant to do because the powders can be bad, but I was very careful, very precise. And I just thought, I'm just going to do it. I think it helped that I actually have an art degree as well. And that was, so that was in, it was quite a few years ago now. I did my bachelor's and then I did my master's as well. But I think in that I learned a lot about just go for it, just experiment with it. And I just bought really cheap yarn, gave it a go and was like, this is doable. And then, of course, YouTube really helped with all the millions of dyes out there. And I just went for it. And then I thought, because I already had started selling my jewellery online before. I don't do that anymore because I found the pressure of having something really precisely correct for someone's engagement ring, for example, was just harrowing. But with dye, if a speckle falls somewhere, that's part of its uniqueness, So I was like, let's go away from precise. Let's go over to a bit more fun. And yeah, it just felt right. I can remember telling my family that, I'm going to start selling this online, and they were all like, what is Terina doing now? She's one of her mad creative pursuits. But yeah, they couldn't be more proud now. Just But
it's fantastic.
Just do it.
Well, so you must have learned a lot about color theory and what things go together, maybe what things don't, with your degree, obviously, because I struggle all the time with color. Should I wear that? I don't know.
Funnily enough, I can recall being in, I did a painting semester, and just to try it out, because again, there's the opportunities there, and I can remember being told, you're no good with color. So I find it really hilarious. I think though, sometimes it's the medium, I just couldn't grasp mixing a paint, but for somehow mixing a dye makes sense to me. I've got no idea why. So again,
I think to say, I'm so glad that you weren't put off by that comment, because the way you use colour is really unique and exciting. It's wonderful.
I think I'm a bit. Yeah, I tend to too when I'm going to dye a kit. I have this general overarching idea, like this one that people are starting now is the gemstone one. I have this overarching idea, and I just go for it for the colours that are in my head. But then what happens is I have this whole big selection of colours that sometimes they're not exactly random, because I try and keep that theme in mind. But sometimes I go, no, how's it all going to work together? So I have this yarn sitting out for a week. And I just keep moving it around until finally it makes sense, because sometimes it's like, that's what I want. That's not how it's going to work. So
you did the kit for the throw that Ambah has behind her, right? Am I right on that? Okay.
That was my flowers one last year that I've re-dyed. Yeah. I'll let Ambah talk. Edit me out.
I just wanted to show it, and mention that it is last year's kit, which again, I watched everybody open it up and then said to Terina, I made that kit, it's so beautiful. And people loved it. And then I also used the leftovers for a little beanie recently.
That's wonderful.
So it's so fun using the little scraps that are left. And so I'm not sure. I think I only used 12 of the colours in this.
It looks like 12, yeah. So you've probably got enough for another one with another background.
Now you have the gemstone kit, and then you have several others that are available as well, right?
Just the flowers one. I tend to do the last year's one because some people like to know what they're going to be knitting, and other people like to just dive in and take, a wild chance.
But most buyers give a little hint, right? Like these are cool colors, or these are warm colors, or
Yeah. I remember having people message me going, are there going to be yellows in it? Are there going to be this in it? So I sort of was able to give, like I said, these are the gemstones I'm basing it on, so this is how it's going to probably be. So that gave people a bit of a chance. And now that I've actually finished dyeing it, I did let a couple of people who were a little bit nervous have a sneak peek. So I think that's
that were nervous. People that just can't allow themselves to be surprised.
And that's okay, because it's a lot of money, and people who are not sure, that's okay,
That's
nice.
And then you'll probably dye it again in January, won't you, Terina, when people see it?
I usually do. Yeah, just give people that little bit extra chance, and then I'll have to get back to dyeing other mysterious things, I think. So
I love that you're referencing your jewellery past with this kit too. It's so exciting, the gemstones theme.
I found too your cherry berry wrap. It reminded me so much of that gemstone. I've seen some beautiful amethyst in that actual cut. And so as soon as I thought of that, and I thought, that knit, as all these multiple little facets of a gemstone would be amazing. So that's where associations all pulled together.
Oh, it's actually behind me, the cherry berry.
Look, we're prepared.
I've got all my Terina knits on display today, but
okay. So here I have a question about that pattern. So am I correct that it's knit from is it end to end or inside out with a provisional cast on?
That's right. So it's cast on here and then worked out.
Oh, this way, not this way.
It's in the round, so it works around and round.
Okay, I'm confused.
So it's long. It's cast on quite long, but you can see here it's worked in the round here.
Oh,
it's really clever. It's once you get going, you zip along with it. It's amazing.
And it did inspire this year's pattern, the Radvent wrap, which is when I told Terina about that. She thought, gemstone shape, I'll do the So
now I get it.
I don't have the wrap here, so maybe you can show a picture of that, but it's similar. Worked from the inside out in the round.
Wow. So it's not provisional cast on.
The wrap, the Radvent wrap, is slightly different. I decided to go with Judy's Magic cast on and just a slightly different start to that. So similar, it's worked from the centre out.
Right.
Just a slightly different start.
Yeah. Okay. So when I say provisional cast on, maybe there may be different terms depending on where you.
So I did use a provisional cast on for Cherry Berry. So you can do that in two ways, where you cast onto some scrap yarn, or with that one I like to cast on to a spare cable so that it's easy to pick the stitches up afterwards. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. That's what I've done with several. That makes sense. Okay. Well, so tell me about, Terina, tell me, you said you just jumped right in with your professional dye kits, and then have you, I mean, I know that you can, like, if you have a big thing that maybe doesn't come out as expected, you can over dye things, and some of it fixable.
Definitely, everything's fixable. That's one thing. Like, worst case scenario, over dye everything in dark blue and it's done.
Make it black.
Yeah, if you have to. And then there's some really subtle things happening with it. But yeah, if it doesn't work the first time, pop it in again. Some of my best colours were and completely unrepeatable is where I've had leftover dye and I've just thrown it in the pot, and then I've gone, it didn't work, and I've thrown another layer, a couple of weeks later, and then I've gone there, and then again, and it's just building up the colour in it. I think one of the fun things that I like to do, like.
And then people want it, and you're like, no, I can't make that again.
That's it. You had to buy it before, But I try to write down my recipes, so I'm not as precise as some people. Some people will actually weigh out, to the tiniest amount the actual dye, but I go for the teaspoon and quarter teaspoon, that sort of method. So it's not always quite the same, but I like that. I like that you can, get a little bit of something. Go with the flow a little bit.
It's a little bit variable, right?
Yeah.
So how long have you been doing this then?
I think I started, my shop opened 2018. Yeah. So the same year I opened it in February. So I started test dyeing in 2017. I remember going Christmas. I actually went Christmas Day to my parents, because we do that every year, and I brought along all these little samples of things I dyed. Look at this, this is amazing. And they were kind of like, she's lost it, but that's interesting.
Yeah.
and I can remember going, these are all really strange little funky little sort of test things, but I'm going to put them on the shop anyway and see what happens. And some people bought them. And I was like, oh, okay. So I'm not completely, out there with this. There is a market for what I'm saying. So, and I just, very slowly built it up. I was working full time at the same time too. So this was, every evening I would, play with my dye, and every weekend I'd play with my dye. Yeah. So, but this year I've gone to full time, just dyeing.
That's exciting and scary, but exciting.
Yeah, the universe said it's time for you to do it.
Yeah.
So I just went, okay, doing it. So, 2020's been, 2020, but, at the same time, I've jumped into this full time. So
what do you think is the best seller in your shop? Is it sock yarn? Is it gradient kits? Is it random overdyed one-off whoopsies? Is it?
It tends to be my advent kits. Yeah. My advent kits, I'm exhausted. Oh. I love it. I'm exhausted, but they work my butt off. The first time I dyed them, I think I dyed 10 of these. The first time I dyed, and they sold out. I was like, oh, okay, I'll dye a few more. And I had an earth version, but I only sold 5 of those, so I only dyed 5. So that was okay. But so I dyed just 10 the first time, and then I was like, people still wanted that. So I dyed a few more of them, and it's just increased and increased. So this year I've done double already what I did last year. So I'm exhausted.
Now, I was a little confused earlier when Ambah said there would be more in January.
Yeah, I tend to re-dye one last batch in January, just so that people who really want can have them. And then I just stay away because I love them, but I'm exhausted completely, and I need to start dyeing some other things. So, But
it's so time consuming, all those little packages, isn't it?
It is. And I have to admit, after the mystery ones have gone out, like the January ones will not be individually wrapped like that. So I'll just put a little label on them. But it just is, it takes a lot of time. I love it, and I love making sure it's all, surprising, fun. But it does take time. But even putting labels on them takes time.
Well, 2 things. You're a knitter, obviously, as well as a dyer. So were you a knitter before you were a dyer, or did you start dyeing and then learn to knit after?
No, I started knitting so long ago, I don't actually remember learning to knit.
I don't either.
So, I just don't. I have vague memories of being at my grandmother's house and knitting there. And so I presume she's the one that taught me. My mum swears she can knit, but I don't recall ever seeing her knit. And she's forever telling me, can you knit me this? Can you knit me that? And I'm like, knit it yourself. I don't know. It's really, it's very strange to me. But I still knit a thing, of course.
Oh, of course.
But yeah, so I was knitting. That would have been in primary school, which is 8 up. And then I didn't knit all that much. And then the 80s happened, and I can remember knitting all these fabulous mohair sweaters with
Do
you have any still?
They would. I'm going to have to see if I can find some pictures of my sister. I've got pictures of my sister wearing them, and I'm sure there must be some photos of me wearing them. So I will hunt them down. But they were. I remember one of them was like all black, basically mohair, and then it had all these neon like red and blue and green bobbles all over it. Another one was a big sort of almost patchwork sort of piece, and again all these neon-y things. So I remember that. And that was just mainly just stocking stitch. That wasn't terrible. I presume I sewed it all up together at the end, because that was how we did things back then. And I remember looking at lacy stuff. My grandmother used to knit amazing lacy baby blankets and things that were, in the round. I've got no idea how she did it, because again, it was all straight needles, like just magic. But yeah, and then I put it away for quite a while. I did other things and didn't do it. And I can recall probably when I was 30s, I picked up the needles again, and I went on one winter where I just knit a million scarves, and they're all just garter ridge, simple scarves, but I just went berserk, and then again put it away again. And the last time I picked it up, and which is why I'm doing it now, I ended up moving house and not having internet for 5 months, thanks to technology infrastructure type things. And I had 5 months of going, I can't just sit in front of the television doing nothing.
Right.
And I used to be on the computer all the time doing things, but I was like, I have to do something with my hands. And so I'd be at work, download a pattern in my lunch break, and I'd take it home and I'd knit like crazy. And that kept me sane for 5 months. And that's when the bug hit again. And I kept seeing this amazing yarn by other dyers, and it was just so luscious and beautiful. I wanted all of it. And at the same time, I was like going, I can't afford all of it. So that's why I thought I'll pick up, maybe I can dye it myself. Right. It can't be that hard. And it's not that hard. It just takes a lot of planning and following through your safety steps, so you keep yourself, safe and healthy. But that's how it all and finding Ravelry was, that was such
changing. Yeah.
Because I didn't want to be on other social media sites so much. I had found them all very negative, but I found Ravelry just to be so embracing, and then there was so many patterns and so much inspiration. Right. It was back in, when I first started knitting, I remember still going to department stores here in the city and going, they had all these yarn sections back then. You go and have a look through all your yarn, you go through flicking through all the patterns, but yeah, this I like now a lot better. This is where it's all here. I can all just, it's all at my fingertips, literally. So,
I think mohair's coming back.
I have a skein of mohair sitting in front of me that I'll show you in a little bit. So, I
don't like mohair. Oh, I don't like it at all. It's just too hairy and foofy.
Too hairy for you.
No, and God forbid you should have to tear it out.
Yeah, it's sticky.
Yeah. I mean, you go ahead and enjoy that.
Yeah, that's
it's
me.
So soft.
I know, and I noticed you've got a little halo going on there because of all your mohair goodness. So tell us about your sweater.
So this is Celestia cardigan, which can button up, and it's got. And I knit it using a gradient fade of Terina's, the Love and Speckles gradient, which I think I bought before that advent. I came across you on Etsy and loved what you were doing and bought that kit. And so I've also held it with mohair, kid silk mohair, and a sparkle yarn, just a thin thread of a glitter yarn. I don't know if you can see it, very glittery on there. So it's pretty luxe. I have knit another version in just a sort of more robust kind of workhorse yarn that I wear all the time. I wear both of them. Yeah, I love them, the Celestia cardigan. And then I had enough left over to make a beanie as well. So you can see the fade more clearly in that.
Terina, after you're done with the Advent Mania, do you have any projects you might want to tell us about that are coming up in the spring?
I've got something coming up. Maybe Ambah would like to hint a little bit as well.
Yes, please.
Yeah, we've just started hatching a plan, the three of us, haven't we? For a mystery knit along.
There may be a mystery knit along coming up in the spring.
Yes, or our autumn.
Oh, that's right. I get so confused. Oh, that's right. Okay, so, right. When I say spring, it means autumn for them because they're in the Southern Hemisphere. For those of you that are, geographically challenged, our seasons are flipped. I'm so excited for the little thing we're not going to talk too much about.
The mystery. Have you got any other reveals for us, Terina?
I have today's giveaway. So this is my my bonus skein for the gemstone kit, and I actually dyed it on 4 bases this year.
Oh, that's lovely. Silver and gold, it says.
Yeah, so I was inspired once again by the whole concept of gemstones and my jewelry past. So the idea of setting the gemstones in silver and gold was the idea. So that's on singles, and I also have it on Cheri silk.
Oh.
So this is baby alpaca, Cheri alpacas. So this is really soft. You might like this if you don't like mohair, but you also may not like it. If you don't like the fluffiness, then that's not going to be soft. And then this is it on the mohair as well.
Wow.
Yeah. So I'm actually thinking quite strongly myself of knitting maybe one of Ambah's other wraps with a skein of the fluff and the skein of the singles. For me, that's what I would like to do. The Cheri Chevron, which we'll have to link down there, that has that beautiful play of texture in chevrons knitted across it. So that's what keeps calling me at the moment.
That will be perfect for that. It will be gorgeous.
Yeah, it would just be lovely. I do like the Cheri silk a lot because I like the way it feels against my skin, but the Cheri silk doesn't have the same yardage as the mohair, so I would run out. So I'd have to go. Yeah. That's the lovely. Person who wins that giveaway gets to choose 2 of those yarns. So they can either choose 2 singles, for example, or they can choose a fluff and something, or whatever combination they'd like. They can have 2 skeins of that to go with it.
Is there anything else you want to tell us about? Anything else you want to add?
Oh, I don't think so at the moment. I'm just at the yarn ordering stage for the mysterious thing.
Right. There'll be more information subsequently about that. I'm so excited.
I am too. Yeah. So you might have to.
Have you done a mystery knit along before? Have you ever? I mean, I don't mean have you dyed one. Have you ever knitted a mystery knit along before?
I have. My first one, and again, it's one of the things that got me into dyeing yarn, was one of Stephen West's mystery knit alongs, and that was the Speckle and Pop. And I was too new to be scared of any of the techniques, so I just went for it.
You're like, because I just do it. I'll figure it out.
Do it. But he did really nice, an explanatory video showing the technique, and it's like, oh, okay, because I do learn visually as well too, and I just went for it. Yeah. And I love. There is a lot of trust, obviously, going, I'm buying a pattern, I don't know what it's going to be, but at the same time, when you've admired someone's patterns, you go, hey, this is the time to put some trust in, do a bit of a leap of faith, and just go for it.
And I feel like that's the case with Ambah. I mean, she has a plethora of patterns on Ravelry. She's very accomplished. I mean, I'd be fine with that. And I've never done a mystery knit along, but I would do it. I would do it with Ambah. And that's the thing, is you are it's kind of a leap of faith, but on the other hand, it's not. You can certainly look through this, vast
Huge
library of catalog of patterns that Ambah already has. And, I have a bunch of tutorials if people want to, if they want to see if they like my teaching style or not. There's lots of stuff that you can go and watch for free. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, it's
not
awesome.
that risky. It's not that risky.
No, no. But I think some people see it that way. Like they go, "Oh, it's a mystery. I maybe I won't like it." But yeah, I've never not liked something. If I've liked the designer, whenever I've done their mystery knit along, I've gone, "This is amazing," And
it's not just the pattern either; it's the community that you're knitting with and the fun of the reveals and conversation and. Yeah, because maybe you might not like that particular design.
Well, then you have a gift.
You have fun. Yeah,
absolutely. Loads of. And likewise, if you don't particularly like the kits, there's always a lot of other options you can choose, and that's really fun too. Seeing people's color options when they don't know what the pattern is, but they've got this little framework of choose this. It's always fascinating to see what people choose. So I think that's also. I love it. I love to see.
It's wonderful. And again, that's what it's all about really, is the community, it's the community. And that's why we're all doing this anyway. That's why I do YouTube. That's why I knit. That's, well, I also knit because I'm a spaz and I have to have something to do.
Same here.
I mean, truthfully, right?
Sometimes I just need some me time. Like, I'm just going to knit. Just leave me alone. I'm going to knit.
I knit in all kinds of public places, don't you? Don't you take your knitting wherever you go, no matter what?
What do you do if you're not knitting and you're waiting?
Is there anything else you want to tell us about?
I don't think so. I think we've covered everything that I can think of off the top of my head.
Okay.
Been really, I was terrified starting this. Like, I thought this is too much, and I've just gone. When Ambah emailed me originally, and I thought it's 2020. Let's just do it. Let's do some interesting things that we haven't done before. So,
and it's so fantastic that we can visit from literally 2/3 of the way around the world. I think that's amazing. It's tomorrow. Where you are, it's tomorrow.
Hello from the future.
I'm coming to you from like the ghost of Christmas past. Oh, thanks so much for joining us.